It is raining hard in Hollywood, and the cafe opposite the movie studio is packed with weather-beaten customers wrapped in coats and hats, umbrellas dripping at their feet. Their hands are wrapped around steaming mugs of coffee, but their food is momentarily forgotten as all eyes turn to the woman who steps through the glass door. Her mane of honey blonde hair bounces, as if in a shampoo commercial, and a Colgate smile illuminates her tanned face. All eyes focus on the painted-on leggings that hunt her 35-inch hips before curving past her 25-inch waist and come to rest below the 34D bust bursting to escape her pale yellow polo-neck sweater. She is, as Raymond Chandler once said, a blonde to make a bishop kick a hole in a stained glass window. Gail Thackray was a British pinup who became the porn queen of America, partied with Hollywood stars, and built a £40 million business empire. But she wants to make one thing perfectly clear as she sits down cradling a cup of English breakfast tea. I'm not a porn star, and I have never been a porn star. Despite her baby blue eyes, dimpled cheeks, blonde waves cascading halfway down her back, and her pneumatic figure tipped into sleek black boots, Thackray prefers to think of herself as a Yorkshire lass who went to Hollywood and made good. Admittedly, she was in business with the Mafia, pioneered internet porn, had her mother record phone sex messages, and made her fortune by amassing the world's biggest library of nude photos, but that's what makes her new tell-all book so entertaining. Running with Wolves, a woman's memoir of sex, scandal, and seduction sees Thackray lift the lid on the sexcesses of Hollywood and the steamier reaches of the World Wide Web. I must be doing something right, because I've had death threats and 6 people suing to stop the book's publication so far, laughs a woman who at 54 could still fill out the bikinis she once modeled in Britain for Tetley's Bitter and Vladivar vodka calendars. I am putting my life on the line with this book. It's Hollywood stars who would rather see the book disappear. People assume the porn business is filled with horrible con men abusing women, but they only cared about money, she says. Hollywood was far worse, and I know where the skeletons are hidden. The casting couch was everywhere. Producers expect you to sleep with them, and there are 20 girls behind you begging to sleep with the producer to win the role. Now I kick myself for refusing to sleep with producers because I was offered some films that could have made me a superstar, says Thackray, a twice-divorced mother of 3 who arrived in Hollywood in 1984 and collected scandal and secrets along the way. When I was producing adult films, I'd have Hollywood Madam Heidi Fleiss's boyfriend, actor Tom Sizemore, often come to the set to watch the filming, and he'd bring Jack Nicholson and Sheen and other stars. They enjoyed watching porn get made, and enjoy the girls too, though I never slept with them. Movie action hero Steven Seagal famously had busloads of girls shipped into his film set every day to party with him, and girls were lining up for the chance. I produced a sex tape with one Hollywood celebrity I can't say who at the Chateau Marmont in Hollywood in the suite where John Belushi had died, but my star overdosed too and nearly died. I couldn't call an ambulance because he was on probation and supposed to be drug-free. Thankfully he pulled through. She adds, there's a famous billionaire Hollywood mogul whose wife posed for sexy shots and recorded phone sex ads for me before they married. When the couple divorced, his family tried to buy the photos to discredit her, but I wouldn't sell. I worked for Hugh Hefner's Playboy and for Hustler publisher Larry Flynt and partied with book. I remember an orgy at the Playboy mansion one night with Hef naked in his room and 10 girls taking turns entertaining him. Crazy times. Thackray was born in Tetley, near Leeds, the daughter of an entrepreneur and a Boots pharmacist. She attended Tetley Girls' Grammar School and briefly Cambridge University until her modeling career took off. She appeared as a pinup in calendars and topless in national newspapers before traveling to Hollywood for a 2-week assignment and never left. Apart from her role in Baywatch, Thackray appeared in more than 40 B-movies with such dubious titles as Hard to Die, Sorority House Massacre 2, Nudity Required and Cell Block Sisters. "I was a B-movie scream queen," she says with pride. Thackray was dating a photographer when inspiration struck. He had taken some nude shots of a model and threw away the photos that weren't his favorites, she recalls. "I fished them out of the trash and asked if I could try selling them. I got £24,000 and realized there's a great business in this. I began paying photographers for their nude photos and I owned the copyright and eventually amassed a library of 1.5 million nudes, which I sold to adult magazines. When the internet began taking off in 1993, I had the world's biggest library of nude images and licensed them at £70 an image. I made a fortune. My company was soon valued at £40 million. She branched out into publishing adult magazines and producing XX-rated films, so perhaps it is not surprising that Thackray attracted the interest of the Mafia. Some New York investors came to me looking to expand their phone sex business, and I helped them negotiate ad space in adult magazines, she says, little knowing they were linked to the Gambino crime family. "I didn't realize they were mobsters. I grew their business and found myself in charge of producing their phone sex taped messages and launching their business across Europe." The phone sex business proved a goldmine, earning over £40 million a month. They had live girls and pre-recorded chats. But it got dangerous. A rival mob put out a hit on me for encroaching on their territory. Thankfully I had protection, and I'm still here. Then I got into a dispute with the mob over money and fell out with them too. I walked away, but later I met one of the mobsters who laughed as he told me, "I'm glad the hit was called off and I didn't have to break your legs." Thackray's father died when she was 7, but don't expect her 83-year-old mum Joan to disapprove of her line of work. "My mum moved to Los Angeles and helped me record hundreds of sex tapes," Thackray laughs. "She was a good sport, but she was useless. She'd say, 'I feel so hot,' and she just sounded bored. She made groaning sounds like Boris Karloff." Thackray helped launch the career of many an aspiring actress, but in particular recalls Stormy Daniels, who last year scandalized America by alleging an affair with U.S. President Donald Trump. It was 2002 and Stormy Daniels was an exotic dancer looking to boost her value by appearing on the cover of adult magazines. "I was able to arrange that for her, and it set her on her way. She also recorded phone sex ads for me and recorded sexy phone tapes. Who knew she'd be sleeping with a future president?" Supplying steamy photos for internet voyeurs made Thackray wealthy, but disaster struck when her adult internet customers began being double and triple charged for services they never ordered. The FBI began investigating, my phone was tapped, and I was followed, she says. They thought I'd stolen about £45 million, but quickly realized I was just a naive blonde when they saw I didn't have any of the money. It turned out to be a massive banking error of colossal proportions. Her internet porn empire recovered, but by 2008 the bottom had fallen out of the market. Everyone and his brother had a digital camera and could post naked photos of their girlfriends. Nobody wanted to pay when they could get it for free, she laments. Shortly afterwards, Thackray underwent a spiritual awakening and turned from porn to become a motivational speaker promoting natural healing, meditation and psychic powers. A large healing crystal hangs around her neck. What would Thackray say if her own daughter wanted to pose naked in a men's magazine? She already knows the answer. My 27-year-old daughter Rachel is an artist, but she was asked to pose in Playboy magazine, and I told her, go for it. The female body is a thing of beauty. But Thackray's steamy past has also cost her dearly. The last serious relationship I had, we were talking marriage, but when he found out about my history and the book I was writing, he said it was a deal breaker. He's politically connected and said, I can't bring you to dinner at the Trump White House if you've been selling adult porn and promoting Stormy Daniels. I got dumped because of my past. Thackray lives in the hills northeast of Los Angeles with her 4 horses, near her ranch house which was destroyed by a wildfire in 2017. I lost everything, all the photos of my modeling career, and my entire library of nude photos of girls, except for what was already online, she says. But my horses were saved, and now I'm rebuilding, but it hasn't been easy. I miss England and visit family in Batley every year. I love La, but I miss the English countryside, its history and heritage, all the ancient castles. Thackray signed a deal in late 2017 with Harvey Weinstein to turn her life into a scripted TV series, which would have made her a household name. A week later, Weinstein's sex scandal exploded, and he became a Hollywood pariah, she says. His company collapsed, and my deal died with it. It was unbelievably bad timing. The only silver lining was that we weren't in business together long enough for Harvey to try to get into my pants. But the idea for a TV series about my life hasn't disappeared. I now have 2 new offers to turn my life into a TV series, so it'll happen. Today and tomorrow only, Daily Express readers can get a free download of Running with Wolves, a woman's memoir of sex, scandal, and seduction by Gail Thackray at Running with Wolves book. Com Express for a paperback version of the book, go to amazon.co.uk.